Yo, 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 yo. What is good, folks? My name is Kenny T, and I'm coming to you live from NYC. I'm back to talk smack. Let's do it. Let's get it. Lots of boxing talk today. You already know. Lots of news came in. Lots of things happening in the world of boxing. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. We're here for no cap. Where we keep it real. We talk nothing but facts. All right. So yeah, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. We got a lot of shit to talk. Let's get right to it. I don't like wasting time. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of shit to talk. I don't like holding y'all hostage. I don't like wasting time. So we're gonna get right into it. So this past weekend, I missed it. I didn't see the fight live. I should have watched it, but I didn't get to catch it. But this past weekend in Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo, Jason Rosario and Javier Fortuna both got a W by knockout. Javier Fortuna, which is at the same weight class where he lost to Jojo Diaz. This is his first fight since he lost to Jojo Diaz. Coming back and fighting at the same weight class. He won by knockout against Journeyman, yes. Uh, this doesn't really show me where this leaves Javier Fortuna. Javier Fortuna has a lot to, I guess, a lot to work on because if you ask me, I don't know who he's ready to challenge or who he's ready to face off, right? Javier Fortuna last lost against Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz then went on and fought Devin Haney and lost to Devin Haney. Javier Fortuna convincingly lost to Jojo Diaz. And Jojo Diaz convincingly lost to Devin Haney. So if you ask me, well, where does that leave Javier Fortuna? Where does he come back to fight at? I don't know. Javier Fortuna seems now like just a gatekeeper-esque type of fighter because, like I said, he lost to Jojo and Jojo lost to Devin. That puts him 2 ranks down, in my opinion, in terms of skill and quality. I don't know. Yes, I'll make fights, but I don't see who I see him fighting next, like, big fight type of thing. But Jason Rosario, he moved up to 160 pounds. He was last fighting at 154 pounds. The last meaningful fight everybody saw him in was when he took the loss against Jermell Charlo by knockout. It was a jab knockout to the body where his body started, I don't know, shaking up, pulsating, seizuring, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, man, Jason Rosario moved up to 160 and he also won by knockout. Supposedly he looked very healthy, but it was also against a journeyman, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But he's up at 160 now, and that's the weight class where the bigger Charlo fights at, Jermall Charlo. I think he should be looking to potentially fight the bigger Charlo, Jermall Charlo, because and the way it's looking, the way I see it, the bigger Charlo seems to be less skilled, less aggressive, and wants it less than the smaller Charlo Jermell does. So look, man, Jason Rosario moved up to 160. He lost to the smaller, more effective Charlo at 154. I think at 160 he should challenge the bigger Charlo, see what he does there. And the bigger Charlo's the champion. Who knows? Supposedly he looked very good, very aggressive, and he won by knockout. He kept the guy on his back foot and came forward. I didn't see the fight, so I don't know how good or bad he looked, but whatever. It is what it is. Haplotype was good, my G. Haplotype says no cap Fury is gonna steamroll White. White wedding with the canvas. Yo, that's a fact. That's a fact. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. That's for sure a fact. We gotta start it off slow. We in the first couple minutes. So we gotta start it off slow with the news that not everybody's interested in, but good box we get later into the show. We break off into the big events like Fury White. You already know, man. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Jaime Mongia. Jaime Mongia this last weekend, we saw him fight Demetrius Ballard. Demetrius Ballard went in there looking, physically strong. I thought he was going to impose some power, maybe land a couple body shots, maybe, buzz Munguia's chin or something. Although I knew that, Ballard was put in there to make Munguia look good. The guy looked strong. I was hoping he would have landed something, but he didn't land anything. Instead, Munguia looked phenomenal in there. Munguia looked better than his last fight and better than the previous fight before that. I do agree that the opposition that he's fighting is very, very low. And that sucks. It does suck that he's fighting low opposition. Hopefully, I think his next fight is going to be a very big, decent opposition from what I read today. And we're going to get into that shortly. But, man, he's been cherry picking quite a lot for most of his career. The guy has almost 40 fights. He needs to start pushing putting the pedal to the metal on this one. He really needs to aggressively move forward with his career at this point. He got 40 fights. Yeah, he's young. He got 40 fights. But, if he's looking for legacy and not just money, he needs to start getting them bigger fights and getting the title fights. Like before, supposedly they were calling out Triple G, and he's ready for Triple G and all this stuff. And now he's been fighting all these other cherry picks or whatever. But, I read something today. That puts Munguia in a position where, he has to fight a good matchup. The WBO ordered this bout for the interim title. Janibek Alimkhanuly versus Jaime Mongia. The fight is ordered to be set up. What I say to this, finally, bro, finally, about time. I'm fucking excited. This guy, it looks like he got the complete training and he became the complete fighter that he had to become in this last fight versus Ballard. He showed a lot of different skills and qualities that he didn't show before. A lot of footwork, moving in and out, good head movement, not getting hit as much and landing at will. Yes, again, Ballard was set there for him to beat up, but at the end of the day, he looked good. And I think that this fight versus Janibek is going to have some challenges for him. And it is a step up. It's a step in the right direction. It's for a interim title, so that means that hopefully after that he gets the challenge for the full title. But we never know with these sanctioning bodies in boxing. We never know how that's going to go. All right. So yeah, man, Janibek Alimkhanuly versus Jaime Mongia has been ordered, and that excites me because we finally get to see whether Jaime Munguia is real or not. I think that's what everybody's been questioning, and that's why Jaime Munguia's stock hasn't grown. What's good, Jay Lanks? You already know, out here keeping it real, no cap. So, but yeah, Janibek gives that challenge to Jaime Munguia, that challenge that everybody's been looking for. We want to see him tested. The boxing, the regular boxing critics think Jaime Munguia hasn't been tested. It's like you can't really believe in a fighter that hasn't been tested like that. You can't really put, the stock on him. Yeah, he has a lot of fans, because he has so many fights and, a lot of Mexican backing, and that's dope. His fights are exciting. I'm a fan. I watch his stuff, but at the same time, I want to see the guy tested. I want to see him in there against real opposition. So, Janibek Alimkhanuly versus Jaime Mongia. I'm excited for that one. That should present a test for the man. Will be the first test that he's having since that Hogan fight. People were giving him credit for that Gabe Rosado thing. I thought he was too tentative in that, so I don't really give him too much credit for that one. Let's see what happens with this Janibek Alimkhanuly and how good he looks in that fight, or whether he just looks very, very regular and has another one of those Hogan-type decision wins. Osborne, what's good? What's good, Osborne? How we doing, brother? I'm chilling out here, man. Doing well. So moving on from Munguia, moving on. The main event that we all saw this last week and that we was all super excited for. Kell Brook whooping Amir Khan's ass. He put the beats on him. I felt bad for Amir Khan though, both two very good fighters, great fighters, different skill abilities, obviously. I had Kell Brook winning from the beginning. If you go back to last week's No Cap, you'll see the choices I made and who I told you to bet for if you were going to bet. But a lot of people were going for Amir Khan. I felt bad for Amir Khan. At the end of the day, we all saw how Amir Khan left after 6 rounds. And even I saw a report today that said that Bomac was thinking about throwing in the towel. You know, like that's even Bomac knew he was getting whooped pretty badly. He wasn't really showing anything that was promising, anything that was keeping Kell Brook away. Like, yo, look at that, bro. That's crazy. 6 rounds. He had no shot. No shot. I made some money on Brook winning. Good shit, Osborne. You bet on the right one. Shit, you definitely bet on the right one. I haven't been betting at all, man, but I'm about to start putting my money up. I'm not a big betting dude, but yo, I keep making these correct predictions, and I'm like, damn, I could be making money off of this, but I'm not even betting because it's not my thing. But yo, I'm about to get into it. I can have a big wallet. We're moving forward. Brook dominated. Brook dominated. Looked like old fashioned Brook. Looked like Brook that fought Sean Porter. Dominant Brook. Amir Khan and his shots had no chance. That orbital bone looked good. Was solid. Ain't go nowhere. So after Brook's win, I heard some soft ass shit happening in boxing. When I think something soft, I call it how I see it. I call things real. This is no cap. I don't be talking soft shit. I don't be called to speaking nice for boxers. So it is what it is. So Chris Eubank, this guy is a fool, a joke. This guy calls out Kell Brook afterwards. Chris Eubank does not fight at 154. But Chris Eubank is out here calling out Kell Brook like Kell Brook is gonna give him a shot at that fight. Like, what the sense does that even make? What does Kell Brook get from that? What does Chris Eubank get from that? The Chris Eubank Jr. that is, not senior. Senior don't even box no more. But I think it's joke shit. This guy seems to be chasing money and trying to cherry pick himself some fights. I think he should just back out of boxing and leave it as is right now. Cause yo, you're gonna make your father's legacy look like shit. You know what I'm saying? Chris Eubank fights at 168. 168. That doesn't make sense for him to be calling out a dude who just fought at 149 and who says he's gonna be fighting at 154 moving forward. It just doesn't make sense. Shit, it's stupid. It's stupid. So he's a clown. Chris Eubank Jr. is a clown. That fight's not gonna happen. Don't even think about it. Don't entertain it. Don't talk about it. Bruh, it's a waste of time. But the real one, the real potential that is a really, really good one, actually. The other person that called Kell Brook out is Conor Benn. But that fight also presents some problems. Osborne says, before the fight, I said the eyes or the chin would come into play personally. I didn't see the eyes coming into play because I don't think Amir Khan had the power to upset those eyes. If you remember the dudes who upset those eyes, that was Errol Spence and Gennady Golovkin, two dudes who are known to have savage power. So I did not think at all that that was gonna the eye was gonna come into play. I did think though that I definitely thought that the chin was gonna come into play for Amir Khan, and that definitely came into play extremely early. And Jay Lang says it's all about the money for sure. Chris Eubank Jr. is all about the money. All right. So right back to it. Right back to it. The real fight that could actually happen that is an exciting one is Conor Benn and Kell Brook. The problem that the Conor Benn and Kell Brook fight presents is that Conor Benn fights at 147 and Kell Brook says it's hard for him to make 147. He's going to go up to 154 pounds. It's good, Chauncey Pearls. We coolin'. We always good out here, man. But yeah, man. Kell Brook says it's hard for him to make 147, and he's gonna fight at 154. I think it makes sense for him to fight at 154. He could eat at 154. You know, Brian and Castano are the two champs. Yeah, he's not gonna become a champ right away if he even does become a champ at that weight class. But there's a lot of good names that he could fight and stay active at 154. You know, it's not and if it's easier for him to make, it makes sense. It makes sense. He could, if he could look as good as he did against Amir Khan against the 154 pounders, I think that's great. I think that's great. Oh damn, that pick of Canelo doing count. Nah, man, I had to put it up because it's after 6 rounds, man. This is crazy. And yo, let's go show Kell Brook some love after the fight. The guy looked brand new. The guy looked brand new. Yeah, I do think this was him actually after the fight. Brand new, brand new. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, let's leave it to Kahn here because he took the L. And I do think it's time for Kahn to hang up the gloves. If you look at my background right here, yeah, the gloves right there. Yeah. It's time for him to hang them up. That's why they're hanging up on the wall this time around. You know, every time it's time for someone to hang up the gloves, this wallpaper is gonna come out for him. But Conor Benn, man. Conor Benn and Kell Brook, that'd be an amazing fight, but it would be stupid for Conor Benn to go up to 154. He's campaigning at 147, and he's doing his thing there. He's talking a good game. He's gaining good popularity. He's got some good fights. His last fight was great. That stoppage, you know. I think the kid's popularity is growing, and I think it'd be a great fight against Kell Brook. I just don't see the gate to it happening. It'd be stupid for Conor Benn to go to 154. It'd be stupid for Kell Brook, aka Mr. Brownies, to go down to 147. He himself, he said he has trouble making the weight. That means that he'd be weaker at 147. And Conor Benn is doing his thing at 147. He hasn't even become a champ yet. Just talk about moving up and weight and all that stuff. I think it'd be a career derailing move because what if he gets hurt or takes an L? Does at 154? The guy's young. I don't think that fight is gonna happen at 147. But I'll tell you what, I would much rather see that fight than Conor Benn versus Adrian Broner. The Conor Benn versus Adrian Broner move to me, that'd be a move for popularity, a move for money. You know what I'm saying? A move where it'd be literally Adrian Broner talks a good game. Adrian Broner's still very popular. If Adrian Broner came back to boxing right now, I'm 1,000% people would tune into his fight, knowing that he's gonna lose, but people will still tune into his fight. So I think it's a move to gain popularity, to gain viewership. Because Conor Benn is when you do see Conor Benn, he's skilled. You know, he's an exciting fighter. He's a dude that you'd want to continue watching fight. So I do think he could get some fans off of fighting Adrian Broner, but I think that fight sucks. I don't want to see Brook fight either. If he's going to fight anyone, it should be Liam Smith if he wins. Personally, I want Brook to retire on the W. I don't know, man. Brook is looking good right now. If he could continue looking like that, then I think he still has a couple fights in him. But against what level of opposition, I don't know. But there's a lot of names at 154. There's a lot of names at 154 that he could fight. A lot of them. I could go through a few right now of the names that he could fight at 154. Let me go to boxing scene rankings real quick. There's so many. And names that would be good big money fights that do present danger, but not danger like orbital bone, life-threatening danger. You know what I'm saying? I already see a ton of names. Let me share the screen. Let me share the screen so you guys see what I'm seeing. Chauncey Pro says, I agree, Brook should retire on a high note, but he still has a big money fight he can cash out on with Conor Benn and kind of pass the torch. Brook versus Danny would be great if Danny was to move up. It's a big money fight, Chauncey, but do you think he will train as hard and look as good as he did against Kahn? All right, look, man. There's so many names here at the 154-pound division that we could see with Brook. I don't see Brook fighting at 147. Like I said, I don't see that Conor Benn Kell Brook fight happening. That'd be a bad business because he said it's hard for him to make 147. Think about that. The guy's gonna be drained and you know, drained and weak. So here we got some fights that he can take. As stated earlier, Liam Smith. You know, there's Patrick Teixeira, Jarrett Hurd. That's a low risk, high reward opponent right there, right? Uh, Carlos Adames presents some danger. He's good, but if he could, nah, I wouldn't want to see him in the ring against Carlos Adames. He has a lot of power that presents some potential damage for his eye. Tony Harrison, that's a good one for him too. Tony Harrison, I'd like to see that. You know, Sergio Garcia, he had a great fight against Fundora, and they robbed him. They gave Fundora the win. I think Fundora would lose against Kell Brook. That's a W, but I don't think Fundora presents any type of reward for Kell Brook. So that's that, man. Kell Brook does have some potential fights that he can do 100% at 154. I do not see him fighting at 147. Yo, salute PBC prison warden. That's a funny ass name. Crawford says if you can't get the Spence fight, he wants the winner of Castagna versus Charlo 154. How do you think Bud does at 154? I'm gonna get into that shortly. That's one of my topics that I got lined up for today. It's coming up in 3 topics. We'll move swiftly. We'll get there. Trust me, it's very interesting. If you guys are watching, please like the channel, subscribe if you're new. Show me love. Let's make it happen. Let's grow together. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep it moving. So my next topic is going to be a short one. Ryan Garcia opens up about the Joe Goossen and Eddie Reynoso training thing. And supposedly the main reason for why he parted ways with Eddie Reynoso and went with Joe Goossen is because Eddie didn't have the time for him. That's what he said. Eddie didn't have the time for him with Canelo and with the other champs and couldn't give him the specific personal boxing attention that he was seeking. And so he went to Joe Goossen. Look, I'm going to respect the move. A lot of people are hating and talking smack about him. He does lie a lot, but I'm going to respect the move. And I'm going to hope that having someone fully focused on him and his boxing career brings him back to the Ryan Garcia that was fighting in the ring. Just want to see the guy fight and not lie and falsely call people out. I just want to see him fight and be real, you know? So the guy has skills. He's an exciting fighter. People like to see him fight, you know? Want to see him back in the ring. So I think the change to Joe Goossen is good. If personal boxing attention is what he needs, then let's make it happen. Let's do it. You know, I hear they were shopping the other day. Whatever helps build their relationship. Shopping has nothing to do with boxing. But it is what it is. And I'm pretty sure they're boxing in between the shopping, building a relationship, you know, and also that there's no language barrier there. They both speak English. So they'll be able to understand each other better. And the boxing knowledge will be able to get communicated better. What's good, Nancy from Boxing Republic? He can't expect people to have been waiting for him to be ready. Indeed, glad he realized there wasn't time for him like before with that team. Yeah, man, it's a positive move for him. I ain't hating on that. It's a positive move. I'm glad he did it. You know, I applaud that. Focus on your career. Glad he got his mind back on track. He's coming back against the goal after talking a bunch of trash to a bunch of people. I don't know if I don't respect that move. But whatever, I guess he's been out of boxing for so long, he wants to tune up. After this little tune up though, we better start seeing some title challenges and some realness. Yo, this next topic right here, I'm really excited for this one. I ain't heard nobody talk about this joint, but I'm really excited for this one because I like this guy. I like this fighter. He's good. He's exciting. He's powerful. Radzab Butaev versus Eimantas Stanionis has been announced for the Spence versus Ugas undercard. Boom. I'm excited for that one. I'm very excited for that one. That's going to be a hell of a pay-per-view card. I'm assuming they're going to put that on pay-per-view. Ugas Spence. I don't really follow the news regarding pay-per-view, so I don't know whether it's going to be on pay-per-view or not. But putting that fight on the undercard makes it that much more exciting and that much more of a fight card. Woo! And you know what? This fight being on the undercard, oh man, I think that this creates a lot of more questions, problems, and a bigger storyline for the welterweight division. Yo, look, man. If Spence beats Ugas and gets that title, there's one of a few things that can. First, you know what? Before we go into Spence beats Ugas, let's go into Ugas beats Spence. If Ugas beats Spence and has all 3 belts, you know Ugas is gonna fight Crawford. That's a fact. I don't see Ugas running from anywhere. That man is real. That man got heart. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him running from anybody. There's nobody that Ugas is gonna run from, so he would definitely fight Crawford. But now let's go to the other side of the coin, right? If Spence wins the belt, the 3 belts, and wins this fight, there's a few things that can happen there. If Spence wins this fight, he's backed into a corner. He's backed into a corner, and he can either go left or right, each route being dangerous. And left being, he's going to go fight Terence Crawford and try to become undisputed at 147. And that would be the legendary move. That would be the move for legacy. That'd be the move that I'd applaud. Got thirsty. That'd be the move that I'd applaud. Kenny, you know that's going to be a pay-per-view. They can't run Thurman on pay-per-view and not spend. You damn right. Yeah, I don't know what. There's probably going to be like a $75 pay-per-view. Yeah. Pitbull and Gamboa also on the undercard, right? It's looking like a great card. I'm not sure about Pitbull and Gamboa being on the undercard. I did hear that fight get announced. I have to look more into that fight, but bro, that fight card is looking amazing. But yeah, back to the story that this presents. Spence is backed into his corner. He can either go left or right. It's a crossroad. Terence Crawford, undisputed, 154. Now, why are those his 2 routes? It would be stupid for him to fight the likes of like Radzab, Butaev, or Stanionis. They present nothing for him. They present no belts, no popularity, nothing. Those are up-and-coming fighters. If anything, those are high-risk, low-reward fights. But moving up in weight to 154 and trying to fight the winner there, or trying to start campaigning at that weight class, that could be the second best route to fighting Terence Crawford and then moving up. But recently, we saw Terence Crawford announce something now. I'll speak about that after. That's what I really want to touch up on this right here. So there, once after this fight, if he doesn't fight Terence Crawford, there aren't any fights left at 147 for Errol Spence. At least any more meaningful fights left for Terence Crawford. I mean, for Errol Spence at 147. Anybody besides Terence Crawford is not worth it. So it's either Terence Crawford or move up to 154, if you ask me. For Bud, it's the same situation. Bud is at the same crossroads. Either fight Errol Spence or move up to 154. The same exact crossroads. The best move that I think for Errol that can happen is for them to fight each other. But I think Errol ducking Spence, as I think he's a great fighter, but he has been ducking. Whatever the things that have been happening, the facts that we have show that Errol Spence doesn't want to fight. That's not me making that up. That's the facts that we have. So, yeah. So the fighters that Errol Spence or Terence Crawford or Ugas will be able to fight at 147 is Butaev, Stanionis, Ortiz, or Boots Ennis. None of those guys present any reward to these guys. They just present a lot of danger. All of those guys are dangerous. Those are fights not to take. If you're going to take danger, there has to be reward. There has to be reward associated with the danger that you're gonna take. You can't just go take danger because I'm the man. No, bro. Nah, not today. So, yo, it's a fact. It's a fact, in my opinion. Like I did, that's a fact, in my opinion. Nah, but look, man, they need to fight. They need to fight. Terence Crawford and Spence need to fight. I don't know. I don't see it happening, but they need to fight. And Spence is backed in the corner. Unfortunately, Bud, under different circumstances, is backed into the corner. I think his best move is what he said. I'm gonna move on to the next topic, which is Terence Crawford at 154 versus Charlo Castaño winner. Terence Bud Crawford recently announced that if he can't get the winner of the fight for Ugas Spence, that his next best move is to move to 154 and fight the winner of the Castaño Charlo fight. Yo, I think that's legendary. Terence Crawford is my type of fighter. He wants to fight. He ain't ducking anybody. He's not afraid of anybody. He's going to chase those fights. He's going to chase those belts. And I think that's an amazing move for him. I think that going up to 154, if he can't fight Errol Spence, going up to 154 is an amazing move for him. Because he's only sitting there getting older, not getting the fights that he needs to get to build the biggest career, make the most money, and have the biggest legacy for himself in boxing. You can't be held up by another dude that doesn't want to fight you. So, yo, do the next best thing. He became undisputed at 140. He tried at 147, but held him up, wasn't able to. Whatever. Cool. Go up to 154 and try to become undisputed at 154. And you know what? It'll be hard for those guys to say that they don't want to fight you. That'll be some crazy ducking, bro. You came from 140, 135, was he started with it? I don't remember. But for those guys at 154 to duck Terence Bud Crawford, if that were to happen, if they were to say that they don't want to take that fight with him moving up, that'd be some crazy shit. That'd be insane. That'd be so soft. That'd be the softest shit I've ever seen. That'd be the softest shit I ever seen. I agree, Osborne. I wish we get Spence and Crawford if Spence wins. I don't know if I see that. It's been ducking season a long time, and Crawford been duck hunting forever. It is what it is. But man, Terence Crawford at 154. The only questions that I have for Terence Crawford at 154 is, can he take the power? But if Terence Crawford could take the power at 154 pounds, bruh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It doesn't, like, if he could take the power, I think that he can definitely beat both Castaño and Charlo. He beats both of them. 100%. The Castaño throw lots of punches and bunches. That shit ain't gonna work for Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford makes sure he lands more punches and more meaningful punches than his opposition. And he has the gas tank to go ahead and throw those punches. He's not Charlo that was tentative in that fight versus Castaño. Versus Charlo, he'll outsmart Charlo and throw more punches and outbox him. And possibly even, well, we haven't seen him knocked down. We almost saw him knocked down versus Castaño. And if Castaño can almost knock him down, then I'm pretty sure that Terence Crawford can knock him down as well. You know? I see, Terence Crawford is inspiring, bro. If he can't get the Spence fight up to 154 and go get them belts, boy. Go get them belts. That'd be great. And I hope they don't duck him. In the words of Keith Thurman, don't duck me, son. Don't duck me, son. Boy, that's exciting news. All right. Just right in time. My guy just made it. We're going to let him in because I want to hear his thoughts too. We got the one and only Maestro A.
Well, I didn't just make it. I was in there for a while, man.
I didn't even notice. I was so busy talking shit over here, I didn't even notice.
I was there at the same time I said I would be there, but that's cool. No, it was good because I was getting to listen to you talk about this whole thing with Crawford. The one thing that I think might be a problem with that, Kenny, is that Castano and Charlo are both with the PBC. If he couldn't get fights at welterweight because the players there were at PBC, I don't see it any more likely that he'll get fights, meaningful fights, at 154 for the same reason. They can just ignore him. And they actually have a bigger reason to ignore him right now because, remember when he was at 147, they would say, oh, well, the WBO belt doesn't count. It's not one of the belts that we all grew up with, which is true. But it counts now. So first they were trying to act like his belt didn't matter. Then they were just making other reasons for not fighting him. At 154, he doesn't have a belt. Maybe if he gets ranked, that might be a route to go. But I don't really see him being able to jump up to 154 and start demanding that PBC fighters fight him and that they will comply with that. As good as I think a fight with some of those guys would be, I don't think it's any easier to make those fights than it has been to make fights with Thurman or with Ugas or with Spence.
Yo, that's a great point. I didn't even think about it that way because, it didn't come to mind to me that Castano and Charlo are both signed to the PBC. Yeah. That's going to bring me back to a point that I said a really long time ago. I think Terence Crawford should sign a 1-year or multiple fight contract deal with PBC. It'll be probably a financial losing situation for him, but it'll be a move that'll push his career forward. And then after that, he could leave PBC, having fought the champions, and fight for whoever he wants or try to stay independent like Canelo with the zone or do something. But he needs to gain a little more notoriety and popularity for him to try to be a little more independent and for people to be chasing him. Right now he's like a scarecrow, bro. He's the boogeyman. He's what they call this guy, the used to scare kids under the bed.
Was it Freddy Krueger or the boogeyman? No, but I mean, I was on a show yesterday, the Boxing Voice actually, where one of the guys that was on there with me, Mike, was calling him COVID because people don't want to go anywhere near him. Like, he should just change his name to COVID.
That's a good one.
To Mike for making that joke. But yeah, those are his issues right now, fam. I mean, he's the guy that wants to be part of the party, but he's not getting past that big bouncer at the door. He's telling the bouncer, "Yo, I'm on the list." Bouncer's like, "No, you're not." "No, check it. I'm telling you, no, fam, you're not on the list to get in here."
And then
he's not on the list of PBC fighters, unfortunately for him.
Then the bouncer says, "Yo, you're not on the list, bro. You got to walk around. You got to make the line, and you got to pay the $45 to get in." And he's like, "Yo, but I'm not trying to pay $45, bro." Paying that $45 is like taking the shorter end of the contract or taking the pay cut. Just take the fucking pay cut and beat the guy's ass, bro.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. And he's not going to get the VIP treatment, right, at the door. He's going to have to, if he wants those fights, I don't see him being able to do it unless he signs with the PBC because he's not Canelo. And you know what? I can't think of another guy in the sport that could get away with doing what Canelo did. Grab 40 million, I'm in for one fight, I'm out. Who else can do that, right? Even he admitted that he can't do that in an interview he gave with Radio Raheem. Shout out to Raheem, who I saw in New York a month or so ago at the Garden. No, more than that. It was at the fight with Gambosis and Lopez. But it's funny, man, because if he doesn't go the PBC route, he's got to go the boxer route, bro, or the Probellum route, which is Probellum's out there making deals right now. They just made a deal with Ludabella recently. And just try to get some international fights because if he can still make 147 pounds, and I have every reason to believe that he can because, like you said, he moved up from lightweight, 135. up to 140, then to 147. I mean, there's no reason to go up to 154 in my eyes unless it's for a title. You know, why do you want to go up there to fight contenders? It doesn't make any sense to me. Not when you're pound for pound ranked like he is. If you're gonna make the move north, right? Shout out to Osborne, who's up in the north, king of the north. Osborne. Osborne's the king of the north on Maestro and probably here on Kenny. Kenny knocked out by Kenny too. He's up in Yorkshire. You know, if you're gonna make that move up north, you should do it for a title. Otherwise, stay put and just defend that WBO belt, right? Go for the all-time title defenses. Go to England. Go to England. Go to France. Go to Russia. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, boxing fans in every country are going to want to see Terence Crawford.
I agree.
True. Everybody aboard the Terence Crawford choo-choo train world tour. That's what I would do. Terence Crawford in Tokyo. Terence Crawford in Kazakhstan.
Big money Crawford.
In Astana.
They would definitely want to pay to watch him. They're real boxing fans. It's not no bandwagon cap shit over there. But yo, Osborne says Taylor's fighting this week, and people keep mentioning moving up to fighting Crawford. Thoughts on that? I don't think I think that Crawford destroys Taylor. It sounds harsh, but I think Crawford destroys Taylor. I don't think that presents anything for Crawford. It may be potentially a big money fight, you know, could get him some more popularity, maybe, but for Crawford, it doesn't really present any reward, you know.
No, they're gonna say,
and the risk isn't really there either. I think that Terence Crawford picks Josh Taylor apart.
You know, I could already give you the fill in the blank narratives. Oh, Josh Taylor was moving up. Oh, Josh Taylor, he's a white boy. Oh, Josh Taylor, he's a Euro bum that, you know, got an easy route to undisputed. He's not like a real dude from out here in the United States. I don't necessarily believe that he'd get like destroyed. I think he'd definitely get beat. Josh Taylor's a very good fighter.
Definitely.
But let's face facts. He's still relatively inexperienced at that elite level. People say, oh, Maestro, he beat Regis Prograis. Okay, great, he did. But Regis Prograis still hasn't won a world title, as far as I can remember. Oh, but Maestro, he beat what's his name? Ramirez. Yeah, was his first actually really big fight, right? I mean, you could say that some of those fights in the World Boxing Super Series were big fights, but look, man, he still has only 18 fights. Right? He's got a while to go to me. And if he wants to risk it all and go up and he doesn't plan on fighting for a lot longer, then yeah, get into these war fights with everybody that you can. But if Maestro management is counseling Taylor, I'm telling him, look, unless you're struggling to make this weight, right? And I heard recently in an interview he gave actually with the BBC with Steve Bunce that he's not struggling to make the weight. In fact, he's teamed up with nutritionists and other health experts that have now made him make the weight comfortably. He gave an interview about this. So why move up to 147? Especially when, even if you beat Crawford, then what? You're just going to be where Crawford is with no one in the PBC wanting to fight you. So you're going to give up all of your belts to move up to beat one man potentially, and we both don't think that's going to happen. But let's say he does beat him, then what? Then he's still frozen out by the PBC, right? I would just stay put at 140. Top Rank holds a lot of pieces at 140, right? Teofimo's moving up. Eventually, Haney's going to move up, right? But
he won't get credit for those. Oh, you know, those guys are no smaller weight class. They're moving up. You know, Maestro. How dare you? How dare you, Maestro?
Yeah, well, the same Donorio types before Teofimo got spanked by Gambosis. We're talking about Teofimo washing Taylor at 140. So where they at now? Where they at now, actually? Where all the Maestro haters that were in the chat when I was critical of Teofimo Lopez. All of a sudden, I don't know, did they lose their mojo? Do we need to get them the elixir? You know, these guys were all up on Viagra for months, right? Walking around with hard-ons for Teofimo. And then all of a sudden, Teofimo loses and they lost the script. They're not taking the Viagra no more. Where they at?
Where they at?
That's where they at, though?
Yo, Chauncey, we get to this question a little later, bro. We get to this question a little later because we're going to be talking about that fight with Josh Taylor, Jack Catteral in a bit. So we get to that question a little later. I got you. We got you. Salute to everybody. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed. Maestro, finish killing that thought. Pardon. Regarding Bud Crawford. But you know what? Let's keep it moving. Instead of going right into the question Chauncey Pearls asked regarding Josh Taylor moving up, because I do want to speak about the Jack Catteral Josh Taylor fight later. Right now, I want to get into a couple of other topics before we do get into the meat and potatoes. Chisora calls out Wilder.
I love it.
Yeah, that's an amazing call out, if you ask me. You know,
why not?
Yeah, it does tell me one thing though. Chisora is chasing money, but he's also chasing greatness. You know, because Deontay Wilder was a champion for how long? You know, everybody was afraid of him.
What else is there to chase, though, Kenny? He's not getting a title shot anytime soon.
Yo, I agree.
So if he's going to stay in the game, go for the biggest name that you could get.
I agree. And the biggest risk, biggest money. I'm with it.
I love the fight. I love the fight.
I love it, too.
I love the fight. Matter of fact, I wish the fight would come here to New York City, but I know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, it probably would sell better over there, right?
Oof, bro, that's a sellout.
Yeah.
That's a sellout at the Manchester Arena. That's a sellout at the O2, right? They might even be able to fill up the Arsenal's football stadium for that one.
You think Wilder's gonna come back good from his hallucinations?
No, on the ayahuasca, whatever the hell it's called.
He's gonna be seeing three Del Boys. Ha ha ha. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be swinging at three different hallucinations.
I love it. I love it as a comeback fight for both of these dudes. I love it.
Yeah. It to me, it makes perfect sense. Both dudes coming off of L's. Both dudes being very well-known heavyweights that are known to be very big punchers. That are known
styles.
Yeah, the fighting styles mix. The fighting styles mix very, very well.
100%. And you got the pressure fighter, brawler, against the guy that's just trying to land one big shot. Oh man. And can you imagine the lead up to this? The face off.
Could you imagine Del Boy taking Wilder to the corner like he did Parker? Like, oh shit, I'm buzzed. All right, come in, bring it to the corner. Let's see what you got. And then landing some big ass punches on Wilder. Because he did land some big ass punches on Parker when he pulled him to the corner.
Yeah, but notice that all these people that are acting like Del Boy is like punch drunk and slurring his words and has like already permanent brain dead. This dude is lucid as fuck. When he went back to the corner in those fights, Kenny, as you know, that was a calculated move. That was a calculated move. That was a thinking man that was hurt. He had his faculties about him.
100%.
You know, and everybody who watches this channel already knows, like, I'm for fighter safety. I'm for fighters having their medical checks. All of this is obviously dependent on both of these guys passing rigorous medicals, including, I would say, MRIs and brain scans and all of that stuff. But if they pass it, then let them fight. I got to see this fight. I love this fight.
Yeah,
I love
it. Me too.
You know?
Yo, salute the boxing historian, the GOAT, Mario Pete. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the fight makes perfect sense, Chauncey Pearl. Spirits, favorite betting site. I haven't started betting, but there are a lot of new betting sites that are legal in New York now, and they all giving free money at the moment. So
I got one that I can that I can recommend. It's called Bet US. Bet US, BET US. if you want a discount, I'm pretty sure I got a code for that one too. So email me. I'll drop my email in the chat. BetUS.
Nice, nice. All right, all right. So let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving because I do want to get to the spicy topics. I want to get to the real spicy topics we got coming. But in some more news, Chino Maidana, the guy who gave Mayweather his hardest fight, as I do the air quotes,
Yeah.
the guy who gave Mayweather his hardest fights, is coming back to boxing. He's been training for years. The last time I saw Maidana training video, he was giving up on his trainer in the middle of training. He said, "Yo, I'm done. I can't do this no more. I'm done. He was angry. He was done. And that was a very heavy overwork weight, Marcos Maidana. I don't know why he's doing this. There's no reason for him to be doing this. The man is old. The man is overweight. The man has trouble working out. And he has a promotional company. I don't think it's about money. He got a promotional company which supposedly is doing very well. So why is he fighting? Why is he coming back to boxing? Do you have any insight on this, Maestro? Because to me, it doesn't make sense. Yo, what's good? Salute, Remy.
Well, I mean, it's like, why did KRS-One just release a new album? Which came into my feed the other day on YouTube Music.
Probably sounds like,
I haven't listened to it just yet, but when you're good at something, it's difficult for you to stop, even when, you're not as good as it as you used to be. And you've lost your fame and notoriety, which is, I think, part of it. People want to stay relevant. People want to maintain a certain level of celebrity. But in addition to that, I think when it comes to fighters, that fighters are competitors. And once you stop competing in the mano a mano trench warfare, man to man, I mean, what replaces that? Playing pool, bowling, playing video games, like none of those things replaces that. I mean, I fought amateur, I never fought pro. I could tell you there's no game of pickup basketball that replaces the feeling of an amateur fight. Or if me and you go, the other sport that I competed in too that was always very exciting that you can't replace is being a sprinter on the starting blocks of the race. I mean, that and fighting, like the two biggest adrenaline rushes you'll ever get. I mean, you can't replace that, right? So, which is also why I think a lot of elite athletes, unfortunately, also turn to substance abuses because they're trying to regain that euphoria, that euphoric effect that you get through that kind of high level physical exercise and activity. It's tough. I don't want to see Chino again. I mean, he did great things in the ring. He brought us, so many hours of excitement as a fighter. And if, like you said, if his businesses are doing well and his promotional company, if it's not financial, it's got to be one of the things that I said.
Yeah, it doesn't add up to me in my head. I don't think he's gonna be exciting. He's probably gonna go there gassing out. I don't even know how much rounds the fight is gonna be. I hear he's fighting like a YouTube or social media personality type of dude. None of it makes sense. Maybe he's trying to see if he could follow the after boxing Mayweather game plan. Come back and fight chumps and try to see if he could get big money for fighting chumps. Who knows? But it is what it is. I don't want to see him in there. I'm good speaking about this topic. It's not something that excites me too much. Just something that I thought I should mention because it is relevant news. Chino Maidana was once upon a time a big name in boxing. Not huge, but a big name. Moving on. We were speaking about this earlier, or it was mentioned in the comments earlier. Since I started the stream, so I know people are super excited about it. Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte signed the contract. I hear it was last minute. I don't know, because as I always say, I'm not behind the scenes. I don't really know what's happening. I don't know what the time was when the contract was signed. whatever. But what I do know are the facts that are actually said. And supposedly he waited till last minute to sign the contract. I think that was a statement. I think he was doing that on purpose. He was pulling people's chains. There was not a moment that I didn't think that he wasn't going to sign the contract, but it was annoying me that he was taking so long to sign the contract. Everybody was saying, oh, this fight's not going to happen. This fight's not going to. I always knew this fight was going to happen. It's set in the roadmap for it to happen is there. The only thing that can make it happen is Dillian Whyte not signing that contract. He did a great fight to get as much money and to do as best as he can. But the only thing that would have stopped that fight is Dillian Whyte not signing that contract. And he signed that contract, and I knew he was going to sign the contract. It was annoying as hell that he took that long to sign the contract. But yo, it's going to be an exciting fight. I can't wait for it. Dillian Whyte is going to end up on the canvas. That's my take right off the bat. This is one of those fights where I don't even have to go watch tape to give my analysis, because I know so much about Dillian Whyte and I know so much about Tyson Fury right off the bat that I'm going to tell you Tyson Fury is going to outbox him and he's going to knock him out. I think Tyson Fury is going to knock him out between rounds, very broad rounds, 5 and 10. If you want to make it even tighter, 6 and 8. Wow. That's my take. Maestro, take it over. Let me know your thoughts. What you got coming? He said, Osborne says the body snatch is coming. The body snatcher.
Check the private chat real quick, Kenny. Look, I've said from the beginning that, I didn't see a scenario in which Dillian Whyte wouldn't sign this fight. I mean, what would his options be if he didn't sign this fight? I mean, Fury would keep his title. He'd probably lose his mandatory status, Whyte would, and someone else would be given a title shot, not Dillian Whyte. So I felt that he was going to sign all along. It didn't really seem like great gamesmanship to me to wait until literally the 23rd hour to sign on the final day. But the fight's signed. I'm happy that it's signed. I'm looking forward to the fight taking place, obviously. And it is what it is. I do find it interesting, though, that the same people that were saying that this fight wasn't going to happen because Fury's Whyte is a bad style matchup for Fury, and Fury was knocked out in sparring by Whyte, and he doesn't want it. His handlers don't want it. Yada 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 yada. Are now saying that, the fight's signed, but I'm not going to believe that it's going to happen until it happens. Guys, the fight's happening. Okay. At some point, you just have to come to terms with the fact that Fury may have disappointed you once or twice or 3 times, but that now he's taking his career seriously and he's fighting people, right? I get it. Right after he took the titles from Klitschko in Dusseldorf, there was no rematch. I get it. Okay. I get it. Right. He said that he thought he was going to win the arbitration, and the arbitration didn't go out in his favor. And therefore, if you're an Anthony Joshua fan, you're disappointed that he's not getting he didn't get a fight with Fury and instead lost to Usyk. I get it. Okay. I get it. You still got people whose anatomy downstairs, little anatomies down there that's still a little hurt because the boy got knocked out twice. Okay, I get it. Okay. But, it's not that big of a deal, guys. Go to your local CVS, Walgreens, get your monthly necessities and go handle your business. I don't understand why these people are still whining about Fury. He's fighting Wilder, and I'm so used to saying Wilder when it comes to Fury.
Right.
He's fighting Whyte, and deal with it, okay? Because the next thing these people are going to be complaining about is Dillian Whyte getting knocked out by Tyson Fury, because that's what I see happening. Right?
Hey, I definitely see Dillian White getting knocked out by Tyson Fury. I don't see it going any other way, brother.
No,
You
I don't
know,
see this going the distance. I just don't.
I don't see it going the distance either. Like, unless the only way that I see this fight going the distance, and if it does go the distance, I got Fury by unanimous decision. But if it does go, the only way I see this going the distance is if the body snatcher shows some body snatching, right? And I say what I mean by that is, you know, I don't think Tyson Fury likes to get hit to the body. You know, we've seen him hit to the body and react a little funny. We've never seen him hurt to the body, but we've seen him react to body shots. We don't see him react when he gets hit in the face.
Everybody reacts to body shots when they hit clean. You just got to know what you're looking for.
Yeah, and no. Some people disguise it very well. Tyson Fury disguises everything else very well. He wasn't able to disguise that very well when he got hit with the body shots. Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, I'm down.
No, it wasn't a Keith Thurman where he spit out the mouthpiece.
Yeah, no, that he projected, yo, I'm hurt, fuck me up, bro. But nah, that's the only way that I see this fight going 12 rounds. Because if, let's say, some quote unquote body snatcher, which I've never seen Dillian White really
I've never seen him stop anybody to the body. Guys, exactly. Who has he stopped to the body?
Nobody. So, but all I'm saying is the only way I could see this fight going 12 rounds is if Dillian White happens to hurt him to the body. But I've never seen Dillian White actually snatch anybody's body, like you said. So I don't really see that happening. And I see this fight ending by stoppage for Tyson Fury. But to continue forward with this Tyson Fury thing, bro, this guy Tyson Fury says that next year he's going to fight Ngannou on pay-per-view. He's going to break the pay-per-view record. And what the fuck? What is this guy talking about, man? Bro, I swear, sometimes this guy be using drugs, man.
Let me tell you something, bro. There's only one. You know what he's doing? What he did, look, we're talking about it. I mean, he says shit like that to get the world buzzing. This is why I like Tyson Fury, right? And I'm not just saying this as a fan, but I'm also saying it as a content creator. Like, he gives us a lot of shit to work with here. You know, Look, it's not like he said he's fighting Ngannou instead of White, or he's fighting Ngannou instead of Usyk. He's been clear. He wants to fight White, and he wants to fight Usyk. He thinks that Usyk is beating AJ. He made that clear too. And I agree with them, actually. The longer this thing takes with AJ, the less and less I believe in his chances of even reaching the 12th round.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you, or the final bell. You know, whereas Usyk is there handling his business, you know, staying sharp, staying in shape. He's up in Sheffield right now, working on that new boxing video game that's taking forever to come out. But the fact is, it's like, yeah, he's talking about it. And look, I would pay for it, especially if he's undisputed at that point, and they do the fight in a cage with the 8 ounce, not the 8 ounces, like I think they're 4 ounce gloves is what he said he'd fight him in. So that it would be punches and clinching, but no kicking and no throws, which is fine because Ngannou doesn't do any of that shit anyways. Ngannou's not a ground fighter. Ngannou likes to stand up. Ngannou likes to try to knock you out. So if you're Francis Ngannou, what better chance that you have of beating a boxer than to face Tyson Fury with your little 4 ounce UFC gloves on? That's about it, because you already know he's not winning with the big boy gloves on. You know? So I don't even mind it, to be honest with you. This is the same Tyson Fury that went to the WWE too. Let's not forget about that.
Chauncey Pro says Ngannou punches way too wide. Yeah, man, like everybody in MMA does. They all punch way too wide. Their stance is way too squared. It is what it is. They fight against this guy, and it doesn't work for boxing. It's too bad for him.
But no, go ahead.
Go, you say yet again?
I was just gonna say, but yet again, the UFC. I can't even say fanboys. I gotta say, CSs. Okay, I don't want to get. Well, you're not getting monetized anyways, right?
I don't. You can say whatever you want. I don't care, bro.
So the
This
dudes,
is no cap.
the dudes that suck the UFC's cock nonstop, the UFC cocksuckers, aka, they're hardcore fans, right? Again, this is going to further dispel their belief that somehow these UFC guys stand chances against elite boxers when it comes to you using these hands. Because they don't. They don't stand a chance. So
the Dana White Club.
Give him every chance that he could get. Yeah, we're going to do 5-minute rounds rather than 3. We're going to use 4-ounce gloves instead of the standard gloves. And you can even clinch if you want. What?
That's just crazy. That's just crazy.
To be honest, that's how I would have liked Floyd to handle the Conor fight. But I don't think Floyd would have done that because his hands are kind of brittle.
Yeah, brittle hands. Yeah.
Right, but that would have been a little bit more fair against Conor McGregor if he did it in those kind of rules.
Yo, look, man. I think Tyson Fury is out of his cherry picking mind. He's crazy. And I think that he's just looking for a huge payday. Maybe Tyson Fury is looking to retire and set off into the sunset, because why would you be looking at Ngannou? You know what I'm saying? Maybe he is trying to become undisputed, or he thinks he can become undisputed against Usyk in a fight after this fight that he's going to have with White. And then maybe he's thinking about doing one more big money fight, but possibly with Ngannou, which is what he's trying to start selling at this moment, so he could ride off into the sunset and escape with a big bang. It is what it is. I don't want to see him fight Ngannou UFC. I'm not a UFC fan. I don't really know much about Ngannou. I've never seen a fight of his. I don't know anything about the man, but I do know about boxing, and I know that any man in boxing will destroy any man in UFC if it is following boxing rules. We'll see what happens, though.
That's 100% true. But what if he beats Fury, then Usyk, and then gives AJ a final comeback fight and beats him? And
I would love
are you okay with him walking away?
I would love that, bro. I'm okay with him walking away whenever. If he becomes undisputed at heavyweight, what is there left for him to do?
Well, I'm asking you because you had a lot of issues, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but you had a hell of a lot of issues when Andre Ward walked away.
Oh, no, see, Andre Ward walked away.
Andre Ward had unfinished business.
Yeah, Andre Ward walked away like a chump. Andre Ward walked away with 2 losses to Kovalev that were counted as wins. And he decided to, I think those are good enough victories for me to retire. My ass, bro. That was trash. See, Tyson Fury, he's a champ right now. He fought Klitschko. He fought Wilder 3 times. Regardless of what anybody says, that ain't no goddamn cherry picking. That's no goddamn easy fight. You guys got to stop playing. I want to see some of you guys say that Deontay Wilder is an easy fight in the ring trying to fight Deontay Wilder. But that is not no easy fight. 3 times. Yes, Tyson Fury made it look easy because Tyson Fury is deadly. And to then right now fight White to fight Usyk. And if he became undisputed fighting Usyk, I'm good with him riding off into the sunset. At least he became undisputed. He did everything he had to do at the heavyweight class, whether he fights Joshua or not. Unfortunately, the Anthony Joshua and Fury train has been derailed. And although we would all love to see it, the big hype, like the big hype for the Anthony Joshua Deontay Wilder fight, we'd love to see it, but it's somewhat been derailed. It's not the same hype for it anymore.
No, I think there's not a lot of the same hype for any of AJ's fights.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it is.
AJ Fury ain't what it would have been before. Deontay, obviously not, I think AJ's fights, if he can beat Usyk, which I don't think he will, I would obviously go for Fury and probably Dillian White again. But honestly, give it a year or two, and I'll pick Big Baby Anderson to beat AJ.
Damn.
In a,
no, Big Baby Anderson. Sorry.
Give it a year or two. I definitely pick Jared Big Baby Anderson.
Bro, I think Jared Big Baby Anderson will put the beats on Anthony Joshua right now. No trainer, lost mind, mentally weak Anthony Joshua. I think will get his ass whooped by Jared Big Baby right now.
I mean, I'd like to see Jared against Deontay Wilder as well. I think Deontay is also ripe for the picking for a guy like Big Baby Anderson, but they won't put him in with Big Baby just yet. And Big Baby's young; he's got time.
Oh, nah, they're gonna Big Baby's gonna be one of those guys that's gonna be like a boogeyman that they're gonna be dodging as long as they could dodge. That's what was gonna happen with Big Baby. You mark my words. Watch. Yo, salute Tony Pugilist. Nice talking to you on Mano a Mano Boxing, which takes place at every Monday between 5 and 6 p.m. It's been fluctuating last week, so we're trying to find the perfect time that works for Mano a Mano since we're relocating with our times.
100%.
So, regarding Tyson Fury, I hope ESPN doesn't entertain that shit with him and Ngannou. That sounds like a joke to me. Sounds like a big joke to me. But moving on from Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte, we both know who's going to win this fight. We both hope that he doesn't entertain Ngannou. You know, Eddie Hearn says that the fight with Usyk and Anthony Joshua is going to take place late April or early May for sure.
Okay. I mean, it has to, because if it doesn't, he's not getting his rematch.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this much. Yo, I don't know what it is that Anthony Joshua is doing. Have you seen the videos of him lately? Rolling taco blunts, saying that, yo, I'm no longer that nice guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm no longer trying to learn the basics of boxing. I'm trying to do his accent. I'm very bad at it, apparently. but you know, he says that he's no longer into learning the basics of boxing and being a good boxer, that he's back into being a gangster. He's back into the gangster life, and that he's gonna, you know, be the aggressive heavyweight he once was. I don't even think
he ever was in the gangster life.
I don't think so either. We gotta
start big cat boxing. Big boy Coda and big boy Frank.
I wish Frank was around here right now.
Where pretty boy Frank at?
Somewhere back there. I don't know. I wish he was next to me right now. I'd pick him up and put him in the camera. But every time I go live, for some reason, he'd be like laying on the couch behind, and you know, it is what it is.
Big cat boxing. You know, cats like to box too. That's kind of how they fight with their hands.
They definitely
no, you're right. I mean, first of all, was he ever a gangster? I don't really think so. I mean, who, like, you sold little drugs in the street? That doesn't make you a gangster at the end of the day. I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Tony's saying AJ was a street hood, having been jailed as a youngster. Bro, I went to middle school and high school with kids that were in and out of jail. Like, they weren't gangsters, though. I mean, there's selling some weed and some drugs and spending a night or two in lockup and being a gangster. Like, those are
Anthony Joshua. I think is just
you don't come across as a gangster to me.
I think he's just trying to find a personality. He's trying to find a lane. I think he's trying to find himself. You know what I'm saying? Before, if you look at all of the Anthony Joshua interviews from the beginning of time, before he used to talk about how much he wanted to be a champion, be great in boxing. Then he would talk about being a great man and how he wants to be great to the people, investments, yada, yada, yada. Then he went to
what, the Black Lives Matter comments?
Yeah, and the praise the world, let's make the world a better place, let's all be happy, let's all treat each other well, yada, yada, yada. That Anthony Joshua. And now, apparently, we have drug dealer gangster Anthony Joshua rolling taco blunts. You know what I'm saying? So, yo,
I mean, that's just. I'm not even against smoking, obviously.
Me either.
You know, I think
he's a boxer, though. If you're about to train for heavyweight title fights,
thank you. I think the herb is a blessing from the Almighty. You know, and does a lot of good health wise for people, but that doesn't mean it should be smoked if you're an elite athlete. Especially now in the day where you got so many options, edibles, oils, you know, vapes. There's no need to put smoke in your lungs. Let alone you as an elite athlete to kind of send that kind of message to the youth. You know, I've always found it interesting when athletes are like endorsing Burger King and Subway and McDonald's. I'm like, Steph Curry, what are you doing with Subway, bro? Like, you really need that much money? You're on an 8-figure fucking contract. What do you need Subway dollars for? It's junk food. You know, same with these guys that like do McDonald's and it makes no sense. But yeah, back to Anthony. I don't really. Yeah, I understand that, fam. It's like, Tony, people know about. Well, I don't know if all people do, but like the show Top Boy was pretty popular on Netflix over here. You know, people have seen movies on like a UK street crime and stuff. I just don't see Anthony Joshua coming from that world. I could be wrong.
Yo, the comments are killing me. Tony Pugilist is on fire, and I agree. April does sound very, very soon.
Very soon.
This is.
I remember the movie Harry Brown with Michael Caine. That was a Cockney gangster in that movie.
MC Hammer went gangster with pumps and a bump after You Can't Touch This. Yo, look, man. Anthony Joshua needs to figure it out. I think Anthony Joshua is going through something similar like Ryan Garcia. The guy is not a mental breakdown, but you know, the guy isn't mentally strong, and you need to be mentally strong in boxing. And he took a second loss and he was picked apart. And yo, he got to get it back together. He has to pick a trainer. He can't stop this whole trainer search, this whole it's all it's doing is keeping his name in the media, but it's not keeping his name in the media in a positive way. And right now, for a dude that doesn't seem mentally strong, it seems like he needs that positive. So yo, just fucking find a trainer. Go find a serious trainer. Like, do something. And if Tyson Fury retires, go train at the Kronk with Tyson Fury's trainer and get better. Fuck it, get better. Use that style, because you need to come forward and start knocking motherfuckers out like you was doing before.
Yeah, but that was also before he got to the elite level, though, to be fair.
When he got to the elite level, he didn't even attempt or try it.
Because
the minute he got to the elite level, he started trying the boxing AJ.
I mean, that was AJ, okay, the prospect / contender who won his first world title against the all-time great heavyweight Prince Charles Martin. And then really after that, has he been sparking out dudes, really? Not really. I mean, he got that Pulev KO. Okay, Pulev's older than me. Whatever.
No, we need that killer AJ back.
But is that
the
AJ,
fake boxer AJ ain't doing it.
Is that AJ capable of competing at the world-class elite level? That's what I'm asking.
We don't know. Me personally,
I haven't seen it yet.
Me personally, I think yes. I think that the killer AJ can definitely compete at the top level. Because, yo, you have to understand, man. Use your abilities. I'm not saying come forward throwing punches crazy like Maidana. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, yo, look at Lennox Lewis. I was watching a Lennox Lewis documentary the other day. Develop a crazy-ass jab like that. I'm not saying he is. Develop a power jab. Develop a power jab that keeps all your enemies. When you land that power jab, it shocks them. After developing the power jab, yo, he already has a killer right hand. The cross and the uppercut, that's his move. Yo, develop that crazy ass jab. When Usyk tries to come in, you hit him with that Lennox Lewis power jab. Bow! What's they gonna do to Usyk? Usyk's gonna be trying his maneuver. Bow! He's gonna be turned back and stop him trap. You know what I'm saying? Get that Lennox Lewis power jab, bro. Work on yourself.
Kenny,
I think he can compete in the top level.
Kenny, you were starting to make me laugh, but
I'm glad I could make you laugh. If you're laughing, then other people laughing too.
I'm laughing at Tony Pugilist boy right now. Kenny, highlight my brother. Highlight my brother's chats real quick.
No,
Tony Pugilis boy, because I need to. There's no way I need some of what Tony's smoking right now. I really do. I'm low on my supply. I need that loud pack sent to me immediately based on his comment. Bro, you can't be serious. You can't be serious.
Which comment are you speaking of?
I'm saying, because basically is what I think happened. I was saying that he hasn't done what he did to Prince Charles Martin at the world elite level, right? So he brought up Klitschko, which on its own is an okay argument. That's okay to say that. Although I would argue that that's not the prime time Klitschko that we were all familiar with. But then he really doubled down on it. And he did this the other day. It's like you get a good point in, but then you go a little too far. He goes, who else pummeled Klitschko into submission? Fam, have you not seen the Corey Sanders Klitschko fight? This dude came off the golf course in South Africa and proceeded to whoop that boy's ass all over the ring. Way worse than AJ did. Did you already forget that fight? Because I guess you must have also forgot the LeBron Brewster fight where Brewster busted his ass up real bad too. Come on, bro. Don't act like AJ's the only man to stop Klitschko. I mean, just rewatch the Corey Sanders fight. This dude came off the golf course with a dad bod and a protruding the beginnings of a beer belly and knocked that boy. You can't call him a boy now because he's much older than me. Knocked that man from pillar to post. Pillar to post. A part-time golfer. Come on, man.
It is what it is, man. Look, AJ, he needs to recalibrate, refocus, switch gears, and do something different. And by something different, I mean step the fuck away from that fake I want to be a boxer shit you was doing. Go back, even if it works or doesn't work, try it. You never tried it. Go back to the AJ that was knocking dudes out and wasn't afraid to get hit. We know you gotta reach in. Yeah, cool. So protect the shit out that chin, bro.
Kenny, you're saying knock dudes out. I'm sorry. Tyson Fury just ain't your average dude. Usyk ain't your average dude. Usyk,
no, they not.
Usyk,
but anybody can get hit and go down.
Let me just finish. Usyk knew everything Joshua was going to do before Joshua even thought of doing it. How is that going to change? And who's he getting to help him?
I don't know, bro. Look, we don't know who he's going to get to help him. At the moment, he has nobody helping him. That's a shit. He doesn't have a trainer. He doesn't have a coach. He has nobody. It's Anthony Joshua by Anthony Joshua's damn self. He needs to get into somebody, a few people on his corner ASAP, very, very quickly. You know, I'm tired of the AJ story. It's starting to drag. The AJ story is starting to drag, just like the Deontay Wilder not signing a contract shit is starting to drag. It's starting to get annoying.
Dillian White.
Get to it. Yeah, my fault. Dillian White not signing the contract thing. But yo, let's move on to our next topic. I do want to get to this weekend's fights and want to talk about quite a few things. But before this guy is fighting this weekend. But I do want to say about something he spoke on. Chris Colbert, I don't know how you say his name, Colbert, but Chris Colbert.
It's like the Colbert Report.
He said, this is a quote from him, "I don't fight for belts, I fight for money and legacy." He was supposed to fight for a belt this weekend, but the guy that he was supposed to fight for a belt, I think, backed out with COVID. So there was a late replacement, and he's not fighting for a belt right now. He said he's fighting for money. I think that sometimes the media makes people in boxers look bad because it's like he wasn't saying I don't want to fight for belts. He said this comment specifically because the title match that he was supposed to have isn't happening because a guy caught COVID.
These are very good points, Kenny. You know, people have the tendency, unfortunately, to take something totally out of context and put it in a context that it doesn't belong in. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, he's also speaking out of frustration because he was one of the many WBA interim titles holders that were fighting with that title while there was a regular champ and also a super champ in certain divisions. So if you're Chris Colbert and then they just strip you after you've been paying them like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for every fight to hold that belt, are you going to be a little upset and frustrated with belts? Yes or no?
Oh, for sure, facts. And he was fighting for a belt right now anyway, and that was it got taken away. It's like the negative narrative always being painted on these guys for no reason. Like it's all right that he said that. You know, I'm excited to see Chris Colbert fight this weekend anyway. I think he's gonna put on the clinic.
From right here in New York City, he's from Brooklyn.
Yeah, man, the guy's an exciting fighter. He talks a lot of good shit. Sometimes his mouth gets him in trouble. But yo, that comment regarding not fighting for belts, fighting for money and legacy, that's a comment in response to the guy that he was supposed to fight for belt backing out because of COVID, and that's a response to what Maestro just stated regarding paying sanction fees and then getting stripped and all this other nonsense that occurred with him.
Yeah, they did it to Rolly Romero too. They did it to what else they do it to? They did it to Daniel Dubois. They did it to a bunch of fighters.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. So these sanctioning bodies be playing games 24/7. But let's jump right into the coming weekend. Let's go right into Chris Colbert versus Hector Luis Garcia. Not a title fight, but it was supposed to be, as I stated. Yeah, man, you know, I already told you what I think is going to happen. Chris Colbert is probably going to pick this guy apart. It's a late replacement, and we all know Chris Colbert is very skilled. I don't really know too much about Hector Luis Garcia. Let's box wreck his ass. You got anything on Chris Colbert? Keep on saying his name.
Well, Chris Colbert, young, talented kid, right? Got into some hot water, as you alluded to, because he had the audacity to speak his mind and say that he didn't think that Deontay Wilder cheated. Okay. Apparently, in some circles, that was enough for the guy for people to call for him to get canceled. You know, it's funny how cancel culture exists across various age groups and demographic groups. It's a very unfortunate trend that people get so butthurt over a grown man expressing his own views about something. But hey, it is what it is. So this guy he's fighting is actually from the Dominican Republic. Looks like he might need, according to the BoxRec photo anyways, a little help from
Mayweather.
No, from Chris Eubank Jr.'s tattoo artist. You know,
or the Mayweather butt hair transplant guy.
What would you go for? Would you go for the Mayweather butt hair transplant, or would you go for the Chris Eubank Jr. tattoo your scalp job?
Yo, I'm gonna keep it honest, yo. I'm gonna go for the butt hair transplants, man. You know what I'm saying? I like having actual texture. You know what I'm saying? Like just having little, you know, that ain't gonna do it for me. That ain't gonna do it for me. I like having long hair, so you know the butt hair transplants it is for me. But back to this guy, man. Yeah, it's gonna be. It looks like it's gonna be a walk in the park for Chris Colbert.
I mean, he's undefeated.
Yeah, he is undefeated, but look at the people he's fought. Look at the guy's record on BoxRec. It doesn't look too good if you ask me. Let me share this. Share screen.
No, it's not looking that good.
Huh?
I said no, it's not looking that good. The only concern I have for Colbert is that he's lacking a lot of power. You know, so a lot of these guys that you'd expect him to get up out of there, he doesn't necessarily always do that.
I mean, he could do a TKO style, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't necessarily have to be that one punch, put him out type of thing.
But yeah, I like Chris Colbert, Kenny.
Yeah, man, dude is dope.
I think Chris Colbert's really good.
Yeah, so the guy's skilled.
I have to take a call actually in a minute, so I'm gonna have to jump off here.
No problem. Do what you got to do, bro. I'll close out.
Thank you so much for having me, fam. I want everybody to hit that like button, that subscribe button. Share my brother Kenny T's content, and check us out when we're together on my channel, Maestro A. Or we go live on Mondays for Mano a Mano Live. You can check me out and everything I do on my channel. You know, on your time. We got a lot of stuff on demand that I know you'll enjoy. Kenny, I'm up out of here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on, brother. I'll see you later, yo.
Absolutely.
And as he said, that was my boy, the one and only Maestro A. Let's keep it going. You already know where to find the Maestro A on YouTube, Maestro Milcar on Twitter. Yeah, follow the man. Great boxing mind. Always knows what he's talking about. Let's keep it moving forward. We have Jerwin Arcanjas versus Fernando Martinez. Jerwin Arcanjas, whatever. He's the champ at super flyweight. He is fighting the number 11 ranked guy in Fernando Martinez for the super flyweight IBF title. And you already know what I think. I don't know anything about Fernando Martinez, but I'm gonna tell you this: Jerwin Arcanjas is most likely gonna win this fight. He's fighting the 11 ranked dude who doesn't even have a. Let's get him over here. Jerwin Arcanjas. Yo, I swear, BoxRec is annoying sometimes. All right, but I'll share once I have it back up. But yeah, man, Jerwin Arcanjas is definitely gonna take a W. It's you can see it from a mile away. Yeah, so here I have it. Share, share screen. Here we have it. So he's fighting Fernando Daniel Martinez. This is Jerwin Arcanjas, 33 wins and one loss, has not lost by knockout. He has one draw as well. And his loss was against Mark Anthony Geraldo. And it seems like he's fought a whole lot of journeymen as well, but he is current. Damn, a lot of journeymen. Okay, he stepped up in opposition. He is the current champion. Damn, he still fought some journeymen later on. He is the current champion. Let's see what Fernando Daniel Martinez got. He's undefeated, 13-0, 8 wins by knockout. And he has a whole bunch of cherry-picked opponents as well. Lopsided win-loss records. We already know, folks. We know what's happening in this one. I don't even want to talk any further about this event because we already know. It's looking like Jerwin Arcanjas is going to win against Fernando Daniel Martinez. I don't know whether by knockout decision. I have to do some more research on that. But, I think I'm going to do a live on Friday. I'm going to do my research on all the main events that are happening this weekend. And I think I'm going to do a stream this Saturday, early, discussing my picks for the fights this weekend once my analysis is done on all of them. So, join in. Let's join in and talk smack and have a good time. But all right. So yeah, Fernando Martinez is the 11th ranked super flyweight IBF challenger, and he's fighting Jerwin Arcanjas for the super flyweight IBF title. Who holds the belt? Guillermo Rigondao is fighting versus Vincent Astrolabio. Vincent Astrolabio. But yeah, so last time we saw Rigondao, he was fighting what's his name? You know what? I'm bad with names, so let me just look this guy up so that I have the whole shit up. I'm terrible with names. Only standout names stick to me. So his last fight was against Janibek Casimero, and he looked terrible in that fight. He was just pretty much running around the whole fight, and Casimero was just throwing bunches of punches but missing most of them, and Casimero got the win because he was pretty much the only guy throwing in punches. Best fight this weekend is Gary Antonio Russell versus Victor Postol. Yeah, it's going to be a big one. That's going to be a big one. But I don't think that's going to be the best fight this weekend. Oh, well, maybe the best. Not the biggest, maybe the best. We'll see. We could talk about that after the weekend, depending how the weekend's action went off. But he's fighting Rigondao is fighting Vincent Astrolabio. A dude with 16 wins and 3 losses, has a loss by knockout. Who has seems like a very cherry-picked record. This is another cherry-picked one we already know who should win this fight if he comes back looking anything like the regular Rigondao. Not the Rigondao that we saw against Casimero or the Rigondao we saw against Lomachenko, but if he comes back and fights more like the regular Rigondao that we know, then this fight this weekend should be a very, very, very easy W for Rigondao. And now for your main event. Josh Taylor versus Jack Catteral for Undisputed. You know what? Before we even go into that, I'm going to go check out Gary Antonio Russell and Victor Posto for my guy Nando. Because I didn't have that on my lineup. I didn't have that on my lineup of conversations for today. But you know what? We're going to fill it up. We're going to get keep it going. We're going to keep it going. So, hold on. Gotta look this up. Who you got winning, Nando? Who y'all got winning in the chat? Yo, what's good? Slide tendencies, chilling. We good, man. We working. You already know. Always working. Yo, so who you got, man? Who you got, Nando? Who the chat got? Gary Antoine Russell, or Victor Postal? Me myself, right off the bat, I'm going to say I think I got Gary Antoine Russell winning this fight. Victor Postal is definitely the more experienced dude. Gary Antoine, damn, I keep topping that up. It's the way it's spelled. It's killing me. Gary Antoine Russell, yo, he's the power hitter. 14 fights, 14 wins by knockout. You know, some wins lopsided. Yeah, it definitely has more of some... has a few journeymen in there, has a few decent victories. Victor Postal will be the biggest challenge for him up to this point in his career. But he is a power hitter. Victor Postal last lost to Jose Ramirez, lost to Josh Taylor, and lost to Terence Crawford. Yeah, he got washed up. Victor Postal has only lost to great opposition. To great opposition. Does Russell have what it takes? Does Russell have what it takes to put Victor Postal out of his misery and keep that 15-0 or keep that knockout record or streak going on to 15-0? I got Gary Russell winning this one. You know, Victor Postal, older man, Gary Russell, younger man. And I think that the guy's going to come through with the power. I think Russell's going to come through with the power and the skill. Cherry picking, saying crack me up. Yo, it is what it is. Dudes be cherry picking. Yo, they be out here, you know, picking cherries, roses, all blissful. And the main event. I'm speeding a little bit through these, gentlemen, because I have been on for an hour and 40 minutes, and I do have a couple things that I have to go do. But Josh Taylor versus Jack Catteral for Undisputed. Oh. This is the main event of the weekend, and I do have the tail of the tape for this one. Let me share my screen. I have it from a different website this time around. I don't know if you guys can see this, but here we go. Josh Taylor, 31. Catteral, 28, the younger man. Josh Taylor has a record of 18-0. Catteral has a record of 26-0. Catteral seems to have more experience, but Taylor has the more meaningful fights. Taylor is 5'10". Catteral is 5'7". Taylor has a reach of 69.5. Catteral has a reach of 67. Yeah, man. Everybody seems to be standing in the same side for this fight. And I'm going to stand in the same exact side for this fight as well. You know, I agree with them. Taylor's going to beat Catteral. So, yeah, Taylor all day. I agree, Tony Pugilis. Taylor's going to beat Catteral probably by knockout. Catteral has heart, though. That the gloves are off series, that shit is always entertaining. Catteral definitely has heart. And I look forward to seeing this fight, yo. This should be the main event for Undisputed. I don't think Josh Taylor is going to lose his votes. And now, Chauncey Pearls asked me a question earlier that I said I would definitely get back to. It was a question about after Taylor defends his belts this weekend, Should he stay at 140 or should he move up to 147? Here we go. If and when Taylor defends his undisputed crown, do you guys think he would consider moving up to 147? Where are the bigger fights for him? At 40 or 47? Seems like he has options. Yo, look, I'm always a dude that's going to back moving up in weight. I think moving up in weight is the way to go. I think after Josh Taylor defends his undisputed titles this weekend, he should move up in weight. I don't see there being much for him at 140. He's beat everybody that had a belt, everybody that there is to beat. If anything else that there is at 140 is a high risk, low reward. If you're going to take high risk, go take high risk for some legendary, more legacy involving moves, and go take the high risk at the higher weight class. I don't think that Terence Crawford is going to entertain him at 147, but I do think that he should go up to 147 and see what fights he could get and what he could do up there. Although if Errol Spence stays up there at 147, then that ices him out a whole bunch of fights anyway. But for Taylor, there's a long road ahead of him at 147. Taylor could fight Keith Thurman, Taylor could fight Keith Thurman. He could fight Ortiz. He could fight Boots. He could fight Stanionis. He could fight Butaev. It's a hard route. It's not an easy route, but those are a bunch of great fights that I think those fights make sense. You know, continue grow. None of those guys that I just mentioned have belts, but those guys are a step in the right direction. You know, before you go challenge for belt in the higher weight class, you got to test yourself and test your chin against great opposition, yes, but not against the champions. You don't want to go in there and throw a stinker. You want to make sure you can eat the power. You want to make sure you could handle your own at the higher weight class. You don't want to go in there at a disadvantage thinking you can handle it, and then you go in there and fight, and it doesn't work out for you. The GOAT Mario P says, you should do a live about the Ukraine-Russia conflict going on right now. I have no idea what's going on, but I'd like to hear what you got to say about it. Yo, Mario P, I'll get that message over to him. He signed off for the moment, but I'll definitely get that message over to him. That's a dope idea. But yeah, I mean, I think 147 is the best for him. But you know what? We're gonna go to boxing scene rankings real quick, and we could decide that together. Because you know, I'm always for the thought of chasing legacy. If you stay in the same place, you're not chasing legacy. You you eating the same food. You doing the same stuff over. Yeah, you're doing it great, but you're doing the same stuff over. You eat the same food over and over. Instead of doing the same stuff over and over, show that you could do better stuff. You know, instead of serving the 8-ounce steak every time to people, you know, upgrade your restaurant. Start serving 10 ounces. You know what I'm saying? That's my take on it. But here we go. 140 pounds. At 140 pounds, of course, we all know Josh Taylor with all the belts, right? Jose Cepeda, Animal, Ramirez, he beat. Prograde, he beat. Lopez, no need in entertaining. Lopez has to prove himself. Lopez seems like he was mentally broken after he took the loss against Kambosos. Catteral, he's fighting. Pedraza, no need. Batir Akhmedov, maybe, whatever. Maybe. Yeah, Robert Easter, Brandon Lee. Those are Brandon Lee's up and coming. I haven't seen Robert Easter fight in a really, really long time. And then we go to 147. Ortiz, David Avanesian, Keith Thurman, Jaron Ennis, Danny Garcia. He don't fight at 147 anymore. I thought he moved up to 154. Josecito Lopez, Mikey Garcia, Amir Kahn just retired. Kell Brook is moving up to 154. Stanionis, I mentioned. And then, and then the champs, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, and Ugas. Yeah. I think I don't know what the best move is in terms of, you know, but I do know what I think the best move. I don't know what the best move is in terms of money, in terms of what's going to keep him safe. I think the best move in terms of legacy chasing, which is what I'm always going to push, the chase of legacy. I think the best move is for him to go to 147. Terence Crawford, I don't think will entertain that fight. But if he was to fight Terence Crawford, I think that'd be a loss. Spence Jr., that's another animal. That'd be a good fight. We'll see. Have to see if Taylor can take the power at 147. I always say that when the guy's moving up, they have to see if they can take the power. You can't just jump into a championship match and then go in there and you take a blow in the first round. And, oh shit, I couldn't take the power. I'm going back down in weight. You know, keep yourself and your legacy safe, and just if you're going up in weight, do one little tune-up fight, see if you can take the hits, and then you step right back into the majors. Remy says go up and challenge and then back down to defend his titles. That could work, but it depends how difficult or easy it is for him to make weight. I've never really heard him speak about making weight, but once dudes get used to a certain weight, I know that they like to stay there. But that sounds very difficult, but sounds very dope. Fighters are going to become easy vacant champions if he moves up. That is true. That is true. That is true, but so you think he should just stay there and defend those titles, so that the dudes can become easy vacant champions? I assume that the sanctioning bodies is going to sanction some, like, a great fight for the vacant title and not just throw some bullshit at us, you know. I assume they're going to work that out and work it out nicely. But yeah, man. If you are currently watching, please like the channel and subscribe. Show me some love. You know what I'm saying? We growing here. We working. Hard work all day. Gonna get some videos. Gonna get some things working for y'all. And yeah, I am done here for today, folks. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching. I appreciate everybody. For this weekend, you can definitely bet your money that Colbert is gonna win. You can definitely bet your money that Taylor's gonna win. Regarding Antoine Russell, I'm not sure. I think he's gonna win. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna watch some more tape on that. And I told you I'm gonna get back to you guys with a stream this Saturday. And this Saturday we'll discuss all the major fights happening this weekend and have a way deeper breakdown as to why someone is gonna lose or someone is gonna win. Because, you know, if I'm gonna tell you guys to bet somebody, which I'm not saying right at this moment, the only person I'm saying you could bet on is Taylor. But yeah, man, you guys take care. It's been a pleasure. Shout out and salute to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Tony Pugilist, Chauncey Pearls, Remy, the GOAT, Mario P, Tony Pugilist boy, Nando Jamas, Jay Lanks, everybody who came in, Boxing's Pound for Pound, Jack, everybody. Thank y'all, man. Y'all have a good evening. Take care. See y'all on Saturday for the stream where we make it happen. Y'all have a great day, man. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Share the video. Show me love.